Ladies and gentlemen, when it comes to animes, the one thing I strongly believe must grab my attention is the main character. Whether he is an underdog or even an overdog, in my past video essay I made about Megaloboss, I mentioned how great of a character Joe was because he's an underdog, and I think they perceive that well. And currently right now, when it comes to main characters, despite how great their animes are, these main characters are inferior to the protagonist, that Koihei Horikoshi. That's right, the man that brought us My Hero Academia. I think what he did with this main character was amazing, with the trial and errors he had to face throughout his journey. And now you all should of course know who I'm talking about. Of course, I'm talking about the protagonist from Horikoshi's one-shot manga that became an anime previous to My Hero, the protagonist known as Ao Josen.
Hello, Stranza! I'm singer, about the moon and the June and the springer.
From the anime Watashi wa Asuru Koto ga Dasuki. Or, if you prefer the basic Americanized name, I Love the Singer. Boy, howdy, was it hard to find this. Unfortunately, it's not in the best quality, so bear with me please. I felt after introducing the greatest anime of all time, Katonipu Dagaku.
Good morning to you, dear teacher. Good morning to you, we really mean it.
I felt it was my duty to provide the greatest anime protagonist of all time. See, it makes sense. Not only did Horikoshi show us what great potential he had in his previous work before his second-rate manga My Hero Academia came about, I honestly felt he captured the struggle of an adolescent trying to achieve his dream when others don't believe in you very perfectly. What a way to combine a coming-of-age story with an anime. I Love the Singer depicts the story of a young owlet who wants to sing jazz instead of a classical music that his German-eccentric parents wish him to perform. Now the plot is lighthearted tribute to Ao Josen's film The Jazz Singer, which is just pure poetry. I truly believe that this anime embodied what Gustave from the movie Ratatouille, for those of you that seen this great movie, meant about limitations.
Imaginative, strong-hearted. You must try things that may not work, and you must not let anyone define your limits because of where you come from.
But let's not waste any more time. Let's just hop into this so I can introduce you guys into this badass. Opens up immediately with informing us of the prejudice as we are soon to deal with. We are presented to our protagonist's parents, Fritz Ao, who walks back and forward in anticipation of the birth of his children, while Mama Ao, she watches him as he's concerned about what's to be of his children, and she shows more concern for him than herself, showing the bond between these two and how strong it truly is. Beautiful. Once the children have been tenderized long enough, Fritz Ao pulls out his whipping stick and then he takes a crack at them. Get it? The first son that is born is Akruso. He has such a nice melody voice that really does stick to that level of standard classical music that his father loved so much. Then the nest egg hatches and Fritz provides them two German names as well. Honestly, I just said that because I really couldn't tell what this guy was saying. I had to rewind back, but it just didn't process. But these two appear to be gifted when it comes to using instruments. One a violinist and the other, well, a flute player. Last but nowhere near at least, is the last egg that was the only one that didn't make the same melody as the others. Pay close attention, please, very closely. This is one of Horikoshi's best work of a metaphor. First off, he foreshadows that Ao Josen would be different when his father waxed up eggs, only for the fourth egg not to make the same in-sync melody as the rest did. That's how we already knew Ao Josen was going to be something different. Then, once Josen is born, we see that not only is he dressed different from his brothers, as the first three are wearing black, he is wearing a red blazer and a blue bow tie. And wow, just fucking wow. Horikoshi is a master of being subtle for choosing these colors because red is a color that signifies love, passion, desire, heat. longing, joy, strength, courage, willpower, danger, and determination. All this wrapped into the future of jazz in itself. See how this all comes back to Katanipo? The blue bow tie, which color represents freedom and imagination. This will all play in greatly once we continue on within this one-shot episode story. Jolson emerges from his egg, greeting his family as he engages in song. This rhythmic, jazzy melody, the amazing talent that was ready to release itself. We already are seeing the joy and love he has for jazz. Unfortunately, this wouldn't play well with his parents.
Shell singer, Agruna! Stop! 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 Oh!
Immediately, Jolson's performance is put to a halt by his father. After this scene plays out, Jolson is then forced to banish the jazz style he's shown to have such a passion for from the moment literally he was born. This precious characteristic was Hirokoshi's way of representing Hitler, which would easily fly over some people's head, but true Watashi Takus know what I'm talking about. But still, our protagonist's desire for jazz would not be put to rest. As his punishment, he would perform the music that his parents found appropriate, but this would nowhere near deflate Jolson's desire, as he will perform still every now and then, every moment, every chance opportunity that presented itself. Unfortunately, once more, this doesn't fare well with Papa Fritz, as he then berates out Jolson far worse than anyone has ever seen in an anime. This is so baffling, so tight, the scene is just hard to see.
You Hacha, you Karuna, you falsetto, you shell singer, Fully.
And does this even come close to crushing Al Jolson's spirit? Hell no. Instead, like a true anime badass, he accepts the cards he's dealt and pushes forward. Much to his luck, he encounters a radio station contest, which he enters with the burning desire of Naruto's Jinchuriki style. The competition possesses fierce competition and competitors, do not get me wrong. People across the globe are coming to do this competition, and he has to compete against them, and he's basically an amateur from what it seems like in comparison to them. These monster talented musicians go up. Lastly, Jolson, who appears unfazed as he introduced himself to smooth talking classical music critic Jack Bunny. And my god, how Jolson gives off the best performance. No, the best scene in an anime I have ever seen. The passion, the motion, the heat he amplifies from his one performance is not only proved to others, but himself is one of the for the freaking books. My word, this song still holds up to this day. Anime songs that we hear from Naruto or even Tokyo Ghoul first OP pales in comparison to this god tier level of music. God damn, I wish they had this on Apple Music. The entire globe is put in a frantic state with hearing him. Mothra is put to rest, and the world is unified just like Logic wanted. Jolson's family hears this through the radio, and they hightail right to the source witnessing this. But once Jolson notices his family is watching, he then reverts back to the style of music they wanted him to perform. It's obviously one that he didn't show much of a passion for and doesn't really seem that into. This is a great psychological interpretation into an anime that I feel Hirokoshi doesn't receive enough recognition for. This psychological warfare could actually even be compared to Killua from what he goes through whenever he comes up a real strong opponent that his brother put in his mind. But as Jolson's performance turns mundane, Jack Bunny is ready to kick him to the curb. Until Jolson's family comes in, Fritz, of all people, who was completely against jazz music, who berated his son, he realizes the true gift his youngest son possesses, and he sees the true passion and desire his son has for jazz. And despite their differences, they can finally see it eye to eye, just like Powerline said in a Goofy movie for father and son. I just think it's just beautiful. I know this is like me really mainly talking about the anime as a whole than Al Jolson, but I feel like from what I said just kind of helps in itself. And guys, I really do recommend. I couldn't help but recommend Watashi more, or I Love to Singer. You could try and see it on YouTube. It's there for you. And there's other these underrated animes that nobody really is aware of that I have to bring to you guys' knowledge, and I really think that you guys will not regret checking these things out. I mean, some of the greatest stuff I've ever seen in my life, but you know, they're ahead of their time, and now look what we have. So you got to thank them. So I'm just giving homage. But always, if you're new to this channel, then I do videos like this, and also movie reviews, anime reviews, and other such videos. You can check them out. And also if you have not seen my Katanipu Dagaku video, then I will put a link in that below. And as well, like if you dare, subscribe if you care. Gonna do some new stuff with this channel eventually, don't worry. Got something coming up for the nun. And key on for Miles.